what kind of catch can I make to make the quarterback look good? And we talked about that in the meetings all week. We didn't do it. I'm happy that we didn't give up offensively at all. And Quincy did a great job. Certainly not happy with the type of yardage that we surrendered defensively. And I don't know what to say. I think we have phenomenal coaches, but there's a disconnect some type of way with the signals going into the field, and the field actors are doing what's called to do. I don't know what to say, and I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because I'm a real coach now. But it's frustrating. Trust me, it's frustrating, and you got to understand that you got to go deep. You got to dig deep to build the type of structure to what we're building, what we're going to do, not what we're trying to do. You got to dig deep to get it like we want it. We're trying to build something that has sustainability, something that will last, something that is long when Neely gets tired of doing his thing that he so wonderfully does well, that it still has stability. Long after all of us are gone, we want to build something that is so stable, it's unbelievable. We're going to have to dig deep to do it. We're going to have to dig deep to do it. And we know where to start.
When you say dig deep, what do you mean?
What's that? I'll ask you more questions.
What I mean dig deep is we got to truly evaluate where we are and make some changes. You know that. I know what it's supposed to look like. Dennis Thurman knows what it's supposed to look like. Jeff Weeks knows what it's supposed to look like. Kevin Mathis knows what it's supposed to look like. Andre Hart knows what it's supposed to look like. I can keep on going. And it don't look like it's supposed to look. So we got to make it look like it's supposed to look.
What was the biggest issue on defense?
Smartness. That's the first smart, tough, fast, discipline. Smart. If we call this, we expect this to be enacted. It's not what's going down. We got to get better right now. That's partially on us, but we're not going. Thank you for that, Lord. You hit my brakes right now. Thank you.
Coach, what was your assessment of Aqeel Glass, Alabama A&M?
I think he played exceptional. I'm looking at his stats early on. Shoot, he was 27 for 44, 46 touchdowns. I like it. I like it. Kept his eyes down the field. Shoot, he had some big ones that he didn't hit, thank God. That he missed. I like it. But you know what I like more than anything? I like to see every team that we play give us their darn best. That's their best. I love it. I love it. You ain't seen ours. I think we showed our worst. But I've seen their best. And our guys got to understand that when people come to Jackson State, they think I'm still out there in uniform. They think they playing against me. And that's not the case. And you got to be ready to give what you got. The common theme this week was when God gives you what you prayed for, what you gonna do with what you got. I'm gonna say that real slow. When God gives you what you've been praying for, what are you gonna do with what you got? Some people, like Santee, is it Santee or Santee? Santee, I want to make sure that he has parents too, did his darn thing, man. When God gave him that opportunity, we had the injury, that's the first play of the game? Yes. And he came in and answered the bell. We've been preaching that all during the week. And he did the doggone thing. And I'm so darn proud of that kid. The kid is starting on, went for $130 on ESPN and was a cameraman several weeks ago. Don't you ever tell me what God ain't. God, I'm proud of the kid. See, those are the moments that in the kids you know what? I want to invest in that. I want to see where you're going to be. I want to give you some time. I want to give you some more attention. I want to give you some more focus.
What'd you say to him?
I'm so darn proud of it. But then at halftime, I said, I want you to hit it like you hit it when you first got in there. You ain't know no better. Now you're trying to pick your holes. You're trying to slice it back. Run naked and wild like you ran in the darn first half, man. Hit it. Quit trying to be a back now. Don't try to be a back. Just be hungry and thirsty and hit it. So I'm proud of him. I really am.
Coach, why this loss does essentially eliminate you all from SWAC East contention?
Right.
I feel like since you arrived, you've emphasized looking beyond wins or losses and how you can improve do have two questions. How do you feel like you got to this point, and what do you do?
Okay. This more means lose, dropping 3.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was smoke and mirrors, and guys started believing the smoke. They got besides themselves. Some of these guys never got that much attention. These cameras everywhere, people yelling their names everywhere they go, people giving them stuff. You ain't built for that. Then you got to get on the field and perform, and have an expectation. See, ain't nobody expecting nothing to be nothing. Now they expect them to win, they expect them to be professional, and they expect them to do their jobs. That's a lot of pressure on a team that just came out 4 wins. It's not for us, because we've been there at the highest level, but it is for them. But that's our expectation of them. And somewhere you gotta meet that expectation, and we're not meeting that expectation. So that's a problem that we got to address.
So the second part would be, how do you get to that point, and where do you go from here to get them to the point that you feel like?
To change the culture, you got to change the people.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in church, the organ would have hit me right there.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Quincy Casey was sacked 4 times today. What do you think went into that?
Quincy Casey was 30 for 47, 323 yards and 4 touchdowns. What went into that? He played well, man. He needed to make a few better decisions, but he's coming off the bench, really hadn't played much this year. I think he did a phenomenal job. Could he have done better? Of course he could have done better. But overall, I think he did a phenomenal job.
Do you think the offensive line had any part of that?
Well, the offensive line was responsible for 463 yards of offense. I take that. I take that every day of the week. It ends with a Y.
You just said to change the culture, you gotta change the people. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
You all know what we signed. You know what we got coming in here. You know how we evaluate and what needs to go and what needs to stay. Simple as that. You don't do your job, what happens? What happens if you don't do your job?
You get let go.
This is what this is. This is that kind of business. This is how it is. We plan on not only winning, we plan on winning it all. That's the only thing we think about. We're not here to compete. I don't compete. If I play checkers, I gotta beat you. Yeah.
You also said, talk about all the cameras and all the pressure. Do you think maybe the pressure's getting to the guys that are on the team right now?
If pressure gets to the guys from a camera, I don't want the guy. I need the camera for exposure to help HBCUs go to the next level. Guess who got to see this guy Glass today? How many people you got to see him do his thing? Coach called a phenomenal game. They ran a precise, concise offense. I like what they did. A lot of people got an opportunity to see that. Hopefully it propels them to the next level, as well as the coaching staff. That's my goal. That's my dream. I want to win. But I love everyone to come up, man. That's why I'm here. All of you too. You too. 2 more questions. Yes.
Coach, last game you mentioned a lack of passion. Do you feel players played with more passion in this game today?
Nope. Because the passion ain't just the start. It's not just the raw emotions. Because sometimes that raw emotions is cockiness and not confidence. Confidence comes from when you're prepared, and you still got that swagger, that dog in you because you're prepared. Cockiness comes from when you're ill prepared and you're trying to trick us. No. Because I'm watching through the trials and the tribulations. I'm sitting up there watching you on the bench, how you react after a big play. I'm sitting up there, we're scoring and trying to stay in this darn game, and no one from the defense is getting up to congratulate the offense. I'm sitting up there seeing the kickoff team. I know our kicker made a mistake and kicked it out of bounds a couple series earlier, which put them, I think, on the 35 or 40 yard line. They went on to score, but he came back and had the booming kicks. And I love it. He bounced back in adversity, and I like that. Those are the type of things I'm like, I'm putting a check by that name. I want him. I don't want him. I want him. I don't want him. That's the evaluation process, and it has to happen. Everybody in this room gets evaluated. And you're being held accountable. And I'm going to hold you accountable too. Not only the players, the coaches as well.
Coach, to that point, you made a comment last week, more or less saying you wanted to make sure that the coaching staff was able to translate to the players on the field and make sure that was being done properly. In preparation for this week, do you feel as though the coaching staff was able to get that?
Yes, it got to the point just taking you deep, you know, I'm taking you to documentary stuff. I went on the sideline and said, what defense could you run when everybody is on the same page? And they said, this here. And we said, okay, let's do that. And guess what happened? Guy goes up the sideline out of the backfield for I don't know how many yards. I think he's still right. That's the one they called. They wanted. Sooner or later, you gotta have accountability. You gotta have accountability. I can take it all day long. I'm built for it. I don't mind. I don't mind taking it. But sooner or later, we gotta hold kids accountable, man. It is what it is.
Thank you, Coach.
That's it. Anything, Malone? You sure? You have no questions? Any?
What's your favorite fruit? Good.
Fruit? Mango. Pepsi, mango Pepsi. They just came out. Product placement. Good job. Anything, bro?
And we good. We brought you a fan. Didn't even need it this week. It's cool in there.
Yeah, I wonder who did that. Who got the arrow?
I'm gonna give Dennis credit.
Dennis?
I always get
Good
It
job.
was all the complaints from all the locals.
Come make sure the hot water in my shower for you. Good job, bro. Deion took care?
Yes, sir. Man, we did great.
That's the boss, man.
Yes, sir. Coach, you did that. That was outrageous.
Who was that? That was 4 times. But that's why I don't know.
That's so you can say it before.
I don't know. That's it. I didn't know what it was. I would have definitely done that in. It's one of my favorite foods.
That's what she said.
I didn't know there was a mango touch. You wanna have to-
He said that's one of my favorite fruits. I said that's what you
Okay, babe, no problem.
This sandwich box.
Thanks, Coach.
Good man. You're a good man.
Thanks, Coach. Last shot is dead. Forever, so are you still doing it like that? He killed it like 5 minutes. Yeah.
You killed it. No players.